Okay, so the beginner work challenge. So, let me zoom it, sorry. Yeah. Can you see it now? Yeah, like this. Okay, so first of all, we see that this won't clearly work because we have this error. So if you write what is on the board in DevTools, you can clearly check if it has the right syntax or not. So can someone tell me where should I start in order to fix this function?
Curly braces followed by parentheses.
Okay, so curly braces followed by parentheses. Very well, because it starts here and should finish after the curly brace, not before. Okay, so now we don't have any syntax errors. Let's call this function. So our strings. Wait. We can see that by the way it's called what is it expected to do. So it's probably going to check that some data that we are passing is a string. So we probably need to pass data in plural. And what kind of data should we pass? String. A string. Okay.
Array of strings.
Okay, array strings. Okay. So if we pass a string, the method every is not going to work. I'll do it just to. So yeah, type error. Words.every is not a function. So we can run every into words when words is a string. So let's make it an array. Say ABC CBA. Okay, like this. So let's check if we can run it. Undefined. Okay. So why is this undefined? Shouldn't this be returning something? Okay.
Because there's no return.
Okay. Okay. Where should I write it?
On the function before words.
Before words. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. Return words. Okay. Let's see if it works now. False. Okay. So now we are checking if this array with the strings are strings, and we are getting that they are not strings, but they are strings. Why aren't we getting what we should get? Someone that is not Anita can tell me.
I just did it. I know as well. If someone else wants to.
Sorry?
I just did it. I know as well. If someone else wants to. I just did it.
So someone wants to tell me, to tell us.
Fourth line, replace the word with string. The red one, yeah.
Okay. Like this.
Yeah, that's the
So would this work?
That's too big between quotes.
Why between quotes?
Because.
Okay, let's check. Yep, error. String is not defined. So because if we write it like that, it's going to look for a variable with that name. So that's why we have to write it like this. Okay. So now it's true. Let's check with the number. Oops. False. Okay. So it looks like it's working. Okay. So let me see. So something else that is wrong or missing in this function that could double equals to triple equals, okay. Why not double equals if it's working? Can you say it again because I can't hear you well?
Double equals checking the values and triple equals checking the types as well.
Okay, very good. Because if we do, for instance, if we do 2, can you see the console? Yes. So yeah, 2 equals 2, this is going to be true. If we do it with the triple equals, it's going to be false because they are not the exact same thing. The way we should always use triple equals because the way JavaScript handles type conversion is a bit confusing. It's not unpredictable because it has rules, it follows rules, but these rules are not very intuitive. So if we go always with the triple equals, we know for sure that it's going to be checking if the two values are the same or not, and the types as well. Okay, so something else that I could write? Semicolon. Line 7. Semicolon in line 7. Oh, yes. Yeah, well, but this wasn't on the original function. So, line 4, yes. Yes, very well. Like to follow the standards, the syntax sugar that we talk about we use it to measure the elegance in the platform. Very well. Any questions? No? Okay. So I'll go to the intermediate one. Yeah. So we have this function. We can see by the name get average that is probably going to try to get average, but so far it's not working. So what can we do to fix it? Can you tell me?
The example was slightly different.
What's different?
Yeah, slightly different.
What is different? Because each time
Line number 3.
line number 3. What was different?
And the parentheses.
Oh yes, true. No. Where is it different?
It was number and total.
Yeah.
And total number. That's why it didn't work.
Yes, it's true. Yeah. It's different. It's because each time I run it, it gets saved. So that's why I ran it before. So it saved itself, and that's why it's changed. You are right. Total. And something else? Huh? No. Okay.
Function key was spelled correctly.
Okay. Yeah. But what I'm asking now is this the function that was on the board? I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. So as Chuck said, the function has a typo. So in order to make it work, we have to write it correctly. Function. Oops. We still have something else. Does someone know?
Oh yeah, parentheses. After reducing,
Can I say it?
So here?
yeah.
Can I say?
Yeah, of course.
The return is missing again and
Okay, so we have a missing return. And yeah. And it doesn't. At least we don't have anything read. So let's try to invoke it.
it should run.
So get average. And then in the parameters, when we are defining the function, we have those 3 dots and the numbers.
So rest.
The rest operator, okay.
So we pass arguments. We shouldn't pass an array.
We shouldn't pass an array, okay. So what should we pass, for instance?
Numbers separated by comma.
Okay, numbers separated by a comma. Okay. So, let's see what this returns. 3.7777. That I think is not the average, because the average of 1 to 3 should be 2. So there's clearly something wrong.
Sorry, you must know.
Sorry?
You must be knowing the answer.
Yeah, I just did it like that. But yeah.
Okay, so what? Just one thing. Tell me one thing to change.
Yes, the order of the first two parameters from the reduced function
Yes.
are the other way around. So the first one would be the accumulator, which in our case would be called total, and the second one would be the current value, which we can call in our case here it will be number.
Okay, so number, because it's the name we gave it here. Okay. So now if we run this, we should be getting closer, but still it's not the average,
Yes.
because the average should be 2.
This is one more thing.
I'm missing one more thing. Can someone tell me? Someone that is not Anita and Octavian?
Need to get,
Huh? Sorry? I couldn't hear you.
you need to get the total value after the polyphrases, after the polyphrase on the line 5.
Line 5.
Yeah.
Here?
Comma,
What should I put there?
comma 0.
Comma 0. Okay. And how did you call it?
Total value.
No. It's a value, but it's not total. It's the initial value. Yes. But yes, it's the initial value of the total. Okay. So now we check. Yeah. Now it's working. So. Okay, I can say it again, but I want one of you to explain me what happens when I do this. Why it doesn't return 2? For instance, Camila?
Yeah, because it takes one as the first value and doesn't add it to the total. So
Okay.
it takes into consideration 2 and 3, which is the
Very well. Because if we don't specify an initial value, the reduce method is going to get as total the first value of the array that we are passing. In this case is 1. And then this operation is not going to be performed on the first value. So that's why we're getting 2.6666. Okay, so something else that we can write here to make it more standard, for instance.
Semicolon at the end of line 4.
Very well. Semicolon. Yes, and one thing, because some of you told me, what if we put parentheses here? Sorry. Like this, and we don't have the initial value. Should this return the average? No. We need to pass the initial value. And I think this won't even return, won't also return the average.
Why?
Because you are doing first iteration. Okay, we can do like a table, like Ricardo does. So, iteration, implemented. Iteration, accumulator, in this case is total, number. Okay, so on first iteration 1, total is going to be 0, and the number is going to be 1. You sure? Yes. Okay, and this will return total plus number, that is 1 divided by the length, so 1/3, so 0.333. So next iteration 2. Total is going to be 0.333. Very well. The number is going to be 2. And what will this return? It's going to be 0.333 plus 2 divided by 3. 2.33333 divided by 3. Okay, so third iteration. Total is going to be 2.333 divided by 3, and the number is going to be 3. And what is going to be returned?
5.3 divided by 3.
So it's going to be, we're going to,
5.333 divided by 3.
No, it's going to be 2.333 divided by 3. Let's say is, I don't know, 0.8, something like that. 0.8 plus 3 divided by, no, so first this is going to be summed, added, so this is going to be 3.8 divided by the length, that is 3, and this is not going to be 2, this is going to be a different number, so that's why it doesn't return the average. It's a different operation. So yeah, we leave it like this. Should return the average, just to sum up. Yeah, 2. Any questions?
Still wondering why it didn't work when you put the parentheses.
Because you are performing an operation that doesn't get the average. If you try to do it in a calculator, you will see that that won't return the average. Like if you go step by step, like I just did.
No, but
like,
I understand, but logically we add all the numbers and divide by the number of numbers to get the average, but here...
because this number that you get divided by the length is not the number, it's something different. So that's why you're not getting the average. You're getting the number plus something, and then you divide it. Yeah, but that's more like maths,
Okay.
a maths thing. Then, okay, so
My question is, that this reduced number is what is on an array, but we're passing as an argument just like three numbers.
No, the best operator will change it into an array.
yes, because these 3 dots is going to
Yes,
gather all these arguments into an array. If we don't put the 3 dots, it's not going to work. You see? Yes. type error. It's not a function. So it's telling you that it's not an array, numbers. And instead of numbers, we could call it anything else. We could call it rest, or we could call it, I don't know, even anything. As long as we put it here, it's going to work. It's just a variable. Oops. Why hidden? Oh, why? Yeah, sorry. I didn't. No. Yeah, 2. So I'll try once again just to show you that yes, it works. Okay. Any more questions? No? Okay, so I'll stop recording then.